the zone again. Let's shoot. It scores! Jerome Iginla. Here's a chance. Right to the front. Down, and he scores! Shane Doan. Back to Duchesne. Out to Zadar. Shot saved. The rebound is punched home. Back to Duchesne gives the Avalanche the lead. Big Sabre defenseman. And it's given away the shot. What a save by Bishop!
Why are we showing these players as we welcome you back to NHL Tonight? Scott Braun, Kevin Weeks, Dave Reed, because some of them are not going to be in that uniform. It's the truth, guys. We're 21 days away. We need to start throwing out names, but I want to go one step further now. I want to throw out names, and then I want to get teams. Okay. Pressure's on. We're 3 weeks away. Can we do this?
Reader, start us off.
Come on. Jerome Iginla. I want to start big. I want to start with some of the vets. 39 years old. He wants a title. Where does he go?
Well, I'm not sure if he's going to get a title, but I'd like to see him go back to the place he was born. I'd like to see him go back to Edmonton. I think he'd be a great fit with the Edmonton Oilers, bring some experience to this team. You've already got guys like Milan Lucic there, Stanley Cup experience. Patrick Maroon, a big body, but Iginla plays a tough game. And Edmonton, you never know. If they catch fire, you never know how far they're going to go in the playoffs. I'm not sure if he's going to go there. I think he'd probably rather go to a team that has a, for sure, Stanley Cup appearance. Not that there's anybody like that. But I'd like to see him go back to the Edmonton Oilers. He was born in Edmonton, and I think that'd be a great finish for him.
Now, if I'm Brad Treliving and the Calgary Flames, this was the best player that we've had in our organization in terms of his productivity as a Flame. Do I really want him to go to the Oilers? I don't know. Could the Calgary Flames use him? Sure. Bring some experience. It's still a young locker room. Troy Brouwer being the veteran guy in there right now. But I'd like to see Jerome Iginla come full circle if, in fact, he's going to be on the move, which I suspect he will, and finish his career with the Calgary Flames, that jersey that he's worn the majority of his career.
Okay. 1 year older than him even. Shane Doan. This is 40. Yep. Where is he going to be?
Well, you know, Matt Cullen did it at 40, so why not send another 40-year-old to Pittsburgh? I think he'd fit in really well in Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's got some young, speedy forwards, and you put a player like Shane Doan in there, you're just insulating some of these young kids as you get into the playoffs. And even though some of these young guys won last year in the playoffs, but another big, strong forward up front. You've got Patrick Hornquist. You've got Tommy Kuhnhackl, plays on the third, fourth line, a different role. But all of a sudden you throw Doan in there. That gives another dimension to an offensive team. And that is a team that Shane Doan is only going to go to a couple of places. And if he's going to go somewhere, why not go to the team that won it last year? I think he'd be a really nice fit with the forward group in Pittsburgh.
I'm on the other side of that former Stanley Cup appearance. I'm going to go with the San Jose Sharks. I think it'd be a nice fit there. They have some older players in their group, led by Joe Thornton, of course, and you look on the back end, the great Brent Burns as well. A lot of nice pieces, and the Sharks aren't necessarily the fastest team. I know Pete DeBoer would like them probably to be a little bit quicker, but that's a team that's difficult to play against, especially when they're on their A game. They'll work the boards, they'll work the front of the net, and that makes it tough on the opposition. He certainly is, in Shane Doan, one of the most respected players we have in our league, and I think he'd be a nice fit in that group.
Okay, I like both of those teams. Yeah. I like the options. Now let's get a little younger. Kevin Shattenkirk, going to be an unrestricted free agent. Even a bonus question, as I ask you, where is he going to go? Is he going to be moved?
Wow, that's a good one.
Just give me a yes or no, and then where's he going, reader?
I'm going to say
place him.
I'm going to say no because St. Louis needs him. But if there is going to be an option to move him, I would say move him to the New York Rangers. Yeah. I mean, here's a team with some fantastic forwards. The depth up front with the New York Rangers is great. That group insulates the defense, and insulates. I mean, they are so good up front. Their speed's so good. They come back and they help out their group of defense. But the Rangers can use a puck-moving offensive first defenseman, and Kevin Shattenkirk is the guy. He can quarterback the power play. He loves to play in the offense. He loves to play the speed game, and he is a local New York guy, grew up in the area, and this would be something that I think would fit in really well. I'm not 100% sold on the fact that St. Louis is going to move him. He's a big part of the St. Louis Blues. But if Doug Armstrong is going to move him, I think the fit would be in New York.
I don't disagree. The Rangers are a great and natural fit. But I'm just going to go up Route 3 from us here and over to Route 21 to the Prue. New Jersey Devils only 3 points out of a playoff spot right now. They're on their bye week. And if you look at this Devils team, you know they've got an ace in Corey Schneider in net. You go up front, Palmieri, Zajac, Taylor Hall comes in. There's a lot of Adam Henrique, a lot of nice pieces. But those guys, fortunately for them, they get their captain back in Andy Green. But he needs help on the blue line. Kevin Shattenkirk, to me, if I'm Ray Shur, I look and I say, I like his game. I like his game. I love what he brings. We can put him on the power play, offensive zone situations. It can complement some of that skill that we have up front. I think he'd be a nice fit as a New Jersey Devil.
Hey, Doug Armstrong's going to get a lot for him because if you've got New Jersey, New York battling.
That's true.
That's a good
Stock's
problem
going up,
to have.
isn't it?
That's it.
And he'll say, send me. If he's a local guy, he would like that probably.
Yes,
That's
either
a good
way.
place to sell him on, right? And
Absolutely.
here's a guy that I know, Reader, because we talked about this yesterday, that you do think will be moved in Ben Bishop. So pick a team for him.
Well, it's a team that's going to be in the playoffs, expects to do well in the playoffs, and could use a goaltender. And that I'm looking at St. Louis. I mean, I'm not sold that it's going to be Carter Hutton or Jake Allen. I think Ben Bishop in St. Louis could be the fit. And Ben Bishop can take a team to another round. He's proven in Tampa that he has been able to do that. He can win a game on his own. And he brings the experience of getting to a Stanley Cup final. So that's something that I think would really solidify and really settle down a lot of things in St. Louis. Now, we've got a few weeks left. It all depends if the goaltending of Jake Allen and Carter Hutton, here I'm telling that they need a goaltender. They're both coming off shutouts. Yet, I think Ben Bishop, if you're going to move him, I think that'd be a very good fit. St. Louis, once again, looking for a goaltender at the trade deadline.
He's a St. Louis native, but I'm going to go with the Dallas Stars on this one. Ben Bishop, keep in mind, is a pending UFA. It's been pretty well documented what he's looking at in terms of comp, 7 times 7. I don't know if the market will be there with this flat cap that we're going to have next year. But in saying that, the Dallas Stars, if they get a goalie and you've got Spezza healthy, you got a healthy Ben and a healthy Tyler Seguin, man, look out for that team. Not to mention, he plays the puck really well, and they want to be a quick-up team. They like to play with speed through the neutral zone, get out of their zone quickly. His ability to handle the puck, as well as some defensemen in the league, could be a nice fit and a nice asset to that group.
And then even younger, youngest guy actually on my list, 26 years old. Can we say the most expensive also in Matt Duchene?
Yes, the most expensive,
Yeah,
and I think Colorado's crazy to trade this guy, but you never know. If the right offer is there, and if the Chicago Blackhawks can make the right offer to the Colorado Avalanche, I think Jonathan Toews would love to see Matt Duchene slide over to the left wing, and I think some of his best hockey could be played throughout the playoffs if that was the case. It would be an absolute fine for the Chicago Blackhawks, but they would have to give up some very good assets, some very good futures, and I'm not 100% sure it can happen, but I think a perfect fit. The Chicago Blackhawks would love to find a winger, and I know Matt Duchene would probably rather play center, but I think a fit with Jonathan Toews on the left side would look really good in Chicago.
That's not a bad call. That is not a bad call. I could see him a lot of places. I could see him Ottawa, but LA Kings. I can see that. Dean Lombardi burning up the phones. They want to be younger. Coach Sutter wants them to play more of a speed and skill game, although they're a heavy power skilled team. I could see him being a nice piece in LA. He would light up the score sheet there, and there's a lot of guys on that team that open up space for other players, which would allow him to do his thing there. I think he could really flourish there as an LA King.
You guys are placing him with some big name franchises.
Yeah, why not?
Like it.
Yeah, why not? Who else you got? Who else we got on the list?
Last but not least, known for his acting skills, Marc-Andre Fleury. Reader first.
Well, again, St. Louis, to me, it's St. Louis or Dallas are the two teams. I mean, that's where Ben Bishop went. That's where Marc-Andre Fleury could go. They've got teams that are looking for goaltenders, teams that want to make runs in the playoffs, teams that have to make runs in the playoffs. Dallas and St. Louis both have to get in the playoffs, and Marc-Andre Fleury is a proven winner. Pretty much set that they are going to move Marc-Andre Fleury. I think both of those teams would be beneficial in their future to have Marc-Andre Fleury.
Marc-Andre Fleury, an outstanding goalie. I had the chance to play against him. Dynamic and technically sound at the same time. Competes, beloved by his teammate, two-time Stanley Cup champ. And I'll tell you this right now, the Dallas Stars, I could definitely see that being a fit if I'm Dallas. Why? Because he has another year remaining on his contract. So there's a good opportunity for him there. But also keep in mind, guys, both him and Ben Bishop in the market. I made some calls today. I wouldn't be surprised to see Calgary in this mix as well. Maybe Ben Bishop's a better fit for Calgary. Maybe they look at Marc-Andre Fleury and they say, hey, we know what we're buying, some cost certainty there. and he can bring a lot to our locker room with 2 Stanley Cups. So either way, those are 2 outstanding goalies in the market. One last guy to keep your eye on. We didn't talk about him in the meeting. This is the surprise. Jaro Halak. Keep an eye on Jaro Halak for a team.
Okay. Oh, it's going to be goalie
He's
city.
been awesome in the
deadline.
AHL so far. And lastly, hey, the Islanders will have to keep some of his salaries. So keep an eye on Jaro Halak too.